Well, as I live and breathe, it's the Wonder Wolfenstow. He's my best friend. He's your friend. He's everyone's friend. Here's Freddy Smith.
Hello, Peter. It's lovely to see
What do you think about
you.
corrugated iron? Do you know what I think is funny? It's not really iron.
Oh, gosh.
Strange, isn't it?
Well, the Rag and Bone Men know that.
I don't know, but if you was a woman taking a selfie, you'd probably take 5 of them and discard 4. Did you know that as
I
well?
would do that if I was a
I'm
woman.
for the facts today.
You are? Did you know that the space stations that they put into orbit, they're very expensive?
Who's it?
They are very expensive.
You're telling me some advanced piece of space technology that
Yeah.
defies description in terms of intelligence is quite
In
expensive.
fact, the most expensive object created by mankind.
What about the pyramids?
The pyramids.
Isn't that more expensive? And what about those priceless paintings that you can't put a price on?
Well, yeah, I suppose they're priceless.
See, this fact is collapsing like a piece of corrugated iron that's been hit by a tornado
Unlike the pyramids,
with a woman taking a selfie in front of it, running away from Jimmy Savile. Oh! You guess what it is, shit?
a cacophony of facts.
A cacophony of abuse. A comedy of errors.
Well,
Have you ever wrote to Jimmy Savile? Like, did you ever write to John Fix it when you were a boy?
I wrote to complain to Jimmy Savile actually
What were you complaining about?
that he hadn't let me on.
Oh, let's consider that something of a blessing now.
I thought it was abusive of him to neglect me so.
At least they put you on the Rolf Harris show. Every guess what an idiot. Could you imagine Jimmy Savile out in the space station doing a spacewalk? Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's Rolf on the other side. Every guess what it is yet? Tommy Kangaroo down sport.
A drunk Rolf Harris in space, Peter.
Oh, it's magic. Yes, so that's one of the great things about the World War One was Basil Rathbone. He was dressed as a tree when he was doing his reconnaissance behind German enemy lines.
Oh yes, and that and the invention of the biplane.
What about the invention of the biplane? Don't you dare just fly over my facts like you're a biplane. And there's me like Rathbone dressed up as a tree with my fact in no man's land, alone. There's you singing Vera Lynn before she's even born.
We have to walk before we can fly, I suppose, Peter.
Yeah, walk like a tree. Or walk like an Egyptian. That was a Bangles song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's another thing that's more expensive than the the space station.
How did it go, Peter? Walk like an Egyptian. Something like that.
It was like, this is a Jimmy version. Walk like an Egyptian. I told you. But one thing I think is funny is that you and I, even though we're on the dole, we're far from having nuppence. Do you know what nuppence is?
I think nuppence means something like tuppence, something similar to tuppence, perhaps.
No, it's a disease that's transmitted through, well, let's just say, unconventional means.
Oh,
Unconventional warfare, you might even say. Nuppence.
dear,
No,
nuppence.
it means nothing.
Oh,
I'm only pulling your leg.
alright.
Pulling your leg. Yeah, it means nothing. And yet here we got loads of money.
We have,
Fiddle off the state.
unlike Elton John.
Yeah. Like a candle in the wind. You know his sweat is antibiotic. What everybody's is.
Is it really?
Yeah. That's what they
Well,
stick his wig on with. To make sure he doesn't his hair follicles don't reject it.
his wig looks like corrugated iron to me.
His wig looks like you know a sniper. Snipers used to shoot birds called snipes. That's where the name comes from. It looks like someone shot a sniper and landed on his head. He went like a candle in the wind.
Yes, well,
Do you know Graham Greene once entered a Graham Greene writing competition?
and he lost.
He came second.
He came
He
second.
was green with envy. There was D.H. Lawrence laughing.
Oh, Shakin' Stevens.
Yeah, well, he just went to live in Lambeth, didn't he?
The Lambeth Conference.
You'll find us all doing the Lambeth walk. Anyway,
Fallon Fox.
Fallon Fox The cage fighter, who is your friend of mine, she, them,
She
her.
takes plenty of selfies, I can tell you.
Selfish. She's beating up blokes. No, beating up women. She was a bloke. Now she became a woman. It's been a very random and eclectic sort of podcast this evening. I suppose we'll publish it because we're both tired.
I'd like to apologise to Peter.
Go on. I'm all ears. Oh no, he's exploded.
He lost your ears now.
You don't have any diseases, do you?
I do have poet's disease.
Oh yeah. How does that?
There was a butcher from Lockett who built himself a rocket. The rocket went bang, his ears went clang, and he found his nose in his pocket.
Oh, that's rather lovely. I've got one for you. The space station is the most expensive thing that exists. But the man who made it was always pissed. He made the design, he said that's just fine, but then he blew himself up, he was completely utterly pissed. I know I used that twice. But that's what happens with the extemporaneous riddles. Or well, not riddles, what they call limericks.
That's wonderful, Peter. I wish I could do something like that.
There was a man who dealt in corrugated iron. His name was Ball Bryan. He knew it wasn't real, but he still made a deal. And do you know what? He's a Jew. He went to Zion. Anyway, I think that's enough for us. Have you guessed what it is yet?